assholes. You are now fucking listening to the Two Clouded Mind Show with Kris.
Took one step inside the house and I shit my pants.
And Ryan.
Dude, of course I bought boxers off Facebook.
With special guest appearances, unique games, and contests. Give us a goddamn call. 669-241-2420. Or stalk us like your girlfriends do on Facebook and Instagram at the Two Clouded Mind Show. Let's get fucking clouded. It's the Two Clouded Mind Show.
Hi, guys.
What's going on?
Welcome to another episode of the show.
Good morning.
Yeah. Good morning. It's morning. We don't really do this in the morning. We did one morning show.
Podcasts are a little rough for me.
This is my request, but thank you for accommodating me.
I prefer to do it early. To get out of the way. It's like, I'm used to working early in the morning.
Chris is way more of a pothead than I am, and he could just like smoke the second he opens his eyes. And for me, if I smoke, it just fucks my whole day up, like in the morning.
So we don't know where this day's going to go for you.
Who the fuck knows?
He came here dressed to go to the gym afterwards.
Oh. No,
I was supposed to go to the gym beforehand, and that didn't happen because I was just like, oh, let me just sleep in before I get high all day.
Oh my gosh. Anyway, so we have quite the show for you today. We're going to introduce a guest. We're going to play a little, not a game. We're going to look at some funny pictures later, roast them. Yeah. Without further ado, I want to introduce our guest. Good morning, Chuck Ordino.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, fellas.
No problem, man.
My first podcast. This is pretty exciting.
Oh, dude, I wish you didn't say that. Now there's like so much to live up to. Like,
Well,
It feels like our
now
first
I'm really
podcast
nervous.
too. We're just getting the hang of things.
that makes me feel a little bit better.
welcome to our first podcast.
When you said we were doing like with the video feed, that definitely changes things. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
Like, there's that whole element of like, hey, my face is up there too.
Yeah, it's okay.
It makes
But
it a
it's
little
great.
bit more real. You
Yeah,
know?
it is. No, I like that you do that.
I get to stare at the bags under my eyes every day. It's great. It's a good time.
Yeah.
Is
that really what I look like?
I'm actually doing pretty good today. Usually I have luggage. It's insane.
But do you get that? You feel like you wake up in the morning and they're like huge, and then something happens and they gradually go away. Like, what happens?
It takes a few hours for my face to actually go back into place.
Yes.
For sure.
It's like twisted during the night, and then you just kind of.
It really does. And then you get that like weird pillow line that just goes away.
You're already making me want to like reference horror movies. Have you seen Possessor yet?
No.
Brandon Cronenberg's movie?
No.
There's just this scene with this like woman who has a face on of someone else, and it just kind of slips off, almost like Leatherface style. You have to see the movie; it's amazing.
Okay.
But that's
What's it
write
called?
down. Possessor. It's on Amazon Prime right now.
Amazon Prime. I got to check that out. I'm
Yeah,
not like
it's
a big Amazon movie person. Do you
it's-
smoke, by the way? Or?
I'm gonna pass, but thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
It's probably. I'm sure it would have gotten a full theatrical release, but just with the way things are, they just released it on Amazon. So it's not made by Amazon, but it's just that's the way you can see it. But it's just a sci-fi horror movie, and it's a game changer, and it's only his second movie.
Nice.
So
wow.
it's very good.
I'm always in the market for a new
Yeah, I know.
good horror.
So there's
movie.
one before it, you're saying?
He did a movie called Antiviral, which I have not seen yet. But
Okay.
apparently
I feel like
that
I've
was
heard
very
of that.
good. Yeah, I listened to Necromaniacs, and they talked about it. And his father, like David Cronenberg, famous, did The Fly, and blanking on his other movies right now. That's terrible. But he's just done a lot of amazing movies.
Okay.
And, so anyway,
Nice.
yep. Scanners. That's one of the other ones that he did.
That was cool.
Yeah.
See, there's nothing
Yeah,
nothing beats a good 80s horror movie in my opinion.
absolutely.
I mean,
They're classic.
yeah.
I've been rewatching a lot too. Not even just horror movies.
I
just
mean, I
movies
respect
in
the new
general.
movies, but like there was no CGI back then.
No, everything was practical effects. I mean,
Yeah.
to me, The Thing is still one of the best horror movies because those practical effects are next level. There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
Just a little RC car.
right, and that head that turned into a spider. I mean,
Awesome.
Fuck yeah.
have you watched Eli Roth's History of Horror yet?
No.
It's on AMC. There's
Okay.
2 seasons, but each episode, it's a really cool way that he works it out. He breaks it down to categories. So it'll be like body horror, scary children, haunted houses.
I like that.
And he went over The Thing, and then he also, because he interviews people also, and then he does like comparisons to other movies, and like some of the effects in the most recent It, you could see were directly influenced by The Thing.
Okay.
You know, and I don't ever see those parallels, but once someone shows it, you're like, that's amazing.
It's kind of like watching
you know?
like Family Guy or like Rick and Morty, and then you see the references to other videos inside of them.
Yeah.
And like if somebody didn't point them out, like to me, I would have never guessed.
Yeah,
like, the
I don't
majority
pick
of
up
them.
on that.
Yeah.
Some people have an eye for that. I don't.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Although watching like at least The Simpsons, not so much Family Guy yet, with my son, it's like just seeing things through his lens and the things that they're exposed to. He's 12, so it's like he's got YouTube. He loves YouTubers and TikTok and all this stuff, and it's like there's so many more avenues with them with technology now.
Yeah,
but also
it's all over. I wish I had that as a kid.
Right,
for like many reasons.
Imagine like how different we would be, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean,
I'm a little older than you guys, but still, you're still
like,
of that generation.
You had
where,
that. You had that taste of it. Like for me, I was born in '79, so like we saw the birth of the internet when it was just text.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like
AOL chat rooms.
I bet
now, kids are born and their first phone is an iPhone. It's insane.
Yeah.
Like
I went from Playboys to LimeWire to Pornhub.
I mean, that's to go to A, B to C like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
Chris
That's
and
still
I
my
think
generation.
I was born in '75. It's like, I had like the Playboys in the bathroom to like Victoria's Secret. And
fuck yeah,
the Sears catalog.
Fredericks of Hollywood.
If my dad hears this, I'm so dead. But he probably knew. I mean, come on. It's but it's God, it's so different now. Just having access to the internet. I remember just being like a senior in high school and it being like, there's this internet thing, the World Wide Web, and to talk about it now,
do you want to hang out on like a completely different world, basically?
Everything was face-to-face, now it's all that. But they also bond over games, which, especially now, since a lot of kids can't see each other because of COVID, it is his connection to a lot of his friends. So I am thankful for that, and technology helps us do things like this.
Yeah.
It does,
to record remotely and do live streams, and man, we would just be...
I'll tell you what, when we first got all this equipment, it was so hard to get. Like, I guess the demand was so high. It took months for this equipment to even get here.
Interesting.
For
So
like
long.
back orders and stuff like that, and piece by piece, Chris would be like, "Oh, like the new microphone's coming in today," and it'd be like 2 weeks later, and he'd be like, "Oh, it's coming in today again," like
To
whatever.
put it into perspective, that box right there, that just came in 2 days ago.
And that's
Been
it's the
waiting
same
for
mic
it.
that you're talking through
Yeah,
now.
Wow.
been waiting for it to complete the set for months.
Chris is trying to like uniform his studio into all Rode equipment. Like he's got the Rode Procaster, the Rode Pod mic.
Yeah,
and
yeah. This is the Procaster. Everything's Rode, like everything.
And how did you discover this particular brand of equipment?
Just doing research
Okay.
as far as like price points, and
I think this thing has everything to offer in such an affordable small package.
yeah, this was only $600, and it's everything you need to just make a podcast.
Not bad.
You got 4 XLRs on there, which is basically essentially a mic input. So if 4 people on a mic, you have audio from your computer, audio from your phone with like a headphone, like an aux cord.
I could take Bluetooth phone
Bluetooth.
calls. It's pretty cool.
So
And
they
then you
really
have-
everything that you guys would need.
Yeah.
You
with
throw an
just
SD
this
card
setup.
in there, you just hit record, and that's it.
That's it. And we record a different
setup.
way. We use OBS and we, record our video and our audio together. But then you have like 3 banks of 8, I think, right?
5 banks of 8.
5 banks now. I got to update.
Yeah.
But that's a lot.
That's a lot of sound effects. We don't even use them for like
really
what we
don't.
could. And like we have a bunch of them on there that are just like segments that we want to incorporate in future podcasts, like different sound effects.
It's really
or
just
intro.
all nonsense in there. Like, there's just some shit I've recorded.
Yeah. Get General chose.
Oh, which one is that? Hold on. I was really high one morning.
I
don't
see a
even
pattern
know.
here.
I
Yeah.
think this is it.
Yo, man, I ordered some General Chow chicken and that shit fucked my stomach up, man.
Yeah, I felt sick that morning.
That's legitimately Chris.
That was the morning
But
after.
think about it. You could totally do a Jerky Boys type of a situation
exactly
where
it,
you
yeah.
have those
Phone
little
calls.
just like pre-recorded things that you throw in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Jerky Boys, that's just classic.
They just came out
There.
with something new, actually.
Oh,
Really?
I need
Yeah.
to check that out.
Yeah,
They
it's
are
weird.
just
I thought for sure they were either in jail or dead.
I sent
They
a
went
mutual
underground.
friend
You didn't
of
hear
ours.
anything.
Yeah.
What is
It's-
it? Just a whole new like all these new skits?
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
Yeah, it's just the voices. I feel like me and
Yeah.
my friends, like we still after so many years, we just quote from them like it was a movie.
Oh,
and,
for
like,
sure.
It's just hilarious. Like
Did they make a movie?
they did. I never saw it. Did you
I
see
never.
it?
No, I was.
I didn't
was
see
never
it.
big into the Jerky Boys until somebody told me about them. Like, I'd even say as little as 5 years ago.
Wow, because I don't even know the year, but that was a while ago. I mean, I remember buying.
It was
them all
early
on-
'90s.
Yeah, because I bought them all on CD,
Yeah.
and we would just listen to them in the car.
My thing
and
was
laugh and
Crank Yankers.
oh, see that I never got into.
I dabbled a little bit. That's Comedy Central, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's-
obviously it's stretched. It's not as real as like the Jerky Boys would be
And that's more like prank calls.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the
Okay.
puppets.
with the puppets.
Yes. Okay.
Some
Yeah,
of
I
them
wasn't
were
familiar
funny.
with that, but I
They
should
got-
go back
they
and
got-
revisit that, kind of like how you did with Jerky Boys.
Exactly.
Go
Yeah.
back and check
It's
that
I
not
out.
might
bad.
want to revisit it too. It's they get crude sometimes, and it's just funny. Like it's just right up my alley in general.
But when I hear my son listening to these things on TikTok, that's what it reminds me
Yeah.
of because they're acting out things and they're just having a blast and they're just it's just like little snippets of the same. kind of
Yeah.
thing,
I actually just
you know?
started watching on YouTube TikTok videos. So some of them
Well, we have a TikTok
I was in.
now.
I
Yeah, they're good.
refuse. I'm
Oh,
too
awesome.
old.
We're
I
just-
refuse.
Yeah, I don't know if I could make the jump, but I do appreciate what they're doing. And my son is like getting into like the cosplay part now, where he's like, because he's getting into anime, which
Cool,
I've been
cool.
kind of pushing him towards. I thought he would like
That's
it.
cool.
So now he's like, he wants to buy masks and wigs and things like that. And I wanted to take him to Comic-Con, and he's just, but of course that got canceled.
I know,
thought
it's
that
sad.
would blow
That
his
would
mind.
it
you
blew
know?
my mind. My first Comic Con was
Yeah.
23. I was 23 years old. It was my first Comic Con, and I was just in awe when I went there. The costumes, everything that went on, like even just like from an illustration point of view, like everybody's there.
Yeah, everyone.
It's
Anything
fucking cool.
you can, and I have never even been to one, so I really thought it would be really special to go my first one, but be able to bring him.
That
at
would
the
be
same
amazing.
time. Yeah,
That'd be really amazing.
yeah, mind blowing. So,
What else is cool? Monster Mania Con.
and which one is that?
That's the one that they have in Cherry Hill
I
at the
did.
Crown
I took him to
Plaza.
that. I took him to that.
Amazing.
I've
Blew
never
his
been.
mind. I never even thought to tell him that people dress up. He was not expecting that at all.
that's
And
cool.
Because he was like, well, can I go up to them and talk to them? I was like, yeah, they want to.
course.
So he
Yeah.
would take. I have pictures of him standing with people like dressed as Jason Voorhees
Yeah,
or
yeah.
an evil satanic priest or just like anything. And it just to see his look, I was like, man, that is just priceless right there. So I can't wait to go back to
Yeah,
more of
yeah.
those, though. They're
And
so
that
much
priest
fun.
dude is cool. He's
Oh, you've
really
seen him
cool.
before?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's
I guess
at
he must make
every
the
con.
rounds, right?
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
at every con. Yeah, yeah. Melissa got me into those because I never knew they existed. I went to one.
I'm surprised actually. 'cause
Years
you've always
ago.
been a horror fan.
Always.
You and I have talked about horror a lot.
Yeah. I went to one years ago at the Showboat in Atlantic City,
Mm-hmm.
and I thought it was the coolest thing ever. And then I just kind of like slipped my mind, never really thought about it. And then met her, and she's like, "Let's go do this." And I'm like, "Yes."
Absolutely.
And we went every year, and now it's just sad.
Yeah, it is
Sad.
sad. And we have choices, of different ones to go to. Hopefully they come back in some way. You
Yeah.
know? I mean, I don't know. They're already the Decibel Beer and Metal Festival that I had tickets for last year was postponed to April of this year. Then they just posted that it's postponed till September. So it's like a little glimmer of hope, but we still don't know exactly if it's going to happen.
You're not
And
you're
like-
not going to know until it happens.
Right,
Yeah.
and it's not in a huge place. They do it in the Fillmore in Philadelphia, which is just a really
Small.
big venue, but it's not like a
Yeah,
Madison
yeah.
Square Garden or even Atlantic City where they would do the beer fest. So I'm really hoping. I mean, everybody needs that.
And like, how weird is it going to be though? Like the first time we go back to a concert.
Well, yeah,
How
like you're
weird
not
is
wearing
that gonna-
masks around people. Like, yeah, you're gonna be like, "Are you sick? Are you sick?"
Yeah,
Am I
and
sick?
like, so
Well,
like,
I think if they have like a full fledged concert, the beginning stages there's going to be like just a sea of people in masks.
yeah, yeah.
but-
or they won't want to stand near.
They
people.
want,
They'll
but
stand
nobody's
off on
going
their
to
own.
enforce it.
Right, right.
like,
You know,
'Cause
I
how
think
can
it-
are we ever going to see a mosh pit again?
Yeah. I'm sure you can. I think it's going to be like this weird world
Everyone's
where
gonna pass out.
you don't have to wear a mask, but people still wear masks.
Yeah. I think that's going to happen a lot. I think people are still going to wear them even when they know we were just talking about that at work yesterday about how it's an aversion now to fear where people are still, even after they're allowed to do things, they're so used to being introverted and just changing up their habits that they're going to have a hard time getting back to that kind of normalcy. You know?
Yeah.
I know. I think about what I would do if I just went into
Now they're saying double up.
double up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too. The cloth mask, you should double up. And
I don't see how the cloth masks honestly do anything, but
Yeah.
because the paper masks, that's what they're meant for. It's not so much a fashion statement. But I went and got my eye exam, and the doctor actually wore a regular paper one, which doctors wear, and then she had a cloth one over, and I wondered why she even bothered with the cloth one. But I don't know, maybe it was more for comfort.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, every time I go to the doctors, I have to go every month for my back, and they have the paper mask and the N95.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah, my chiropractor wears the paper one and the shield.
yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
crazy.
I know.
I know some like people that cut hair that wear the shield. It's just crazy to me.
It's weird looking.
It's so
It
weird.
fogs up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like I can't see you under there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was weird too when I was working. When I went back to work, the construction workers wearing that. It's like,
Because aren't the welding masks like that? They're more
yeah,
of like a shield over
it's a
your
full
face.
shield. Yeah,
Yeah. My dad has one. I remember seeing him use it a few times when I was younger, and I'm like, man, that just looks like. Well, you have to protect yourself, but
It's actually, they're really light. I mean, back in the day, they were heavy as fuck.
they were
but-
probably like half-inch plexiglass.
Yeah,
They probably weighed
yeah.
20 pounds, but
Yeah, the ones now are super light. Yeah, real easy.
yeah, it's just we never thought we'd have to see that stuff in our everyday life. And
Yeah, it's weird. But you know what? I'm kind of getting used to it because I can just
Yeah.
make faces and nobody's going to know.
I think that's been a big advantage for a lot of people. Like if you're smirking or just showing like I don't give a fuck face. No one's
Yeah.
gonna know
I've
it,
seen some shit though. I've seen.
But imagine like taking your mask off and being so accustomed to making those faces with the mask on, and then like a world after masks.
World after masks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna be
everybody's just
a
walking
whole
around.
thing. The
The
world
readjustment.
after
The new
masks.
thing is going to be like, like doing that to like, scratch your nose, push your mask up, know?
And me with my glasses, not having to like. There's always the adjustment when I put it on. I have to put it on so that I don't fog up my mask.
I love the
Yeah.
people that wear their
glasses,
masks and their nose sticks out. It's
Oh,
like,
yeah,
dude, like
yeah.
seriously, you know how
Yeah.
dumb that looks?
And that's the fight.
Whatever.
That's the
It's so-
hill they want to die on. Like I'll wear the mask,
Yeah.
but I'm gonna keep my nose out. I'm like,
Keep
you're
like-
a rebel, man.
Yeah.
I see people with
Badass.
holes in their masks. Like, come
that's
on.
insane.
I know. Like we're so
Come
oppressed,
on.
but that's a whole nother conversation.
Yeah.
But it is. It's amusing though when you see people trying to pull that off. Like where they're like, "Ooh, I'm gonna be sneaky. I'm gonna be the rebel and just pull it down just a little bit."
What about the guys that have like the face masks like drawn like clowns or like there's that whole face. I'm guilty of it. I had like some skull ones.
I mean, I don't.
Yeah, I had a skull
I'm not
one.
Surprised,
It was like
but-
the pull up thing.
Well, that's what I think with a lot of guys that
Face
ride
shields?
motorcycles. Yeah, it's that they
Yeah.
already have those sort of things
Yeah.
where it's like a skull or a Punisher,
Yeah.
whatever thing, and so I definitely I can see why people would do that. Those are comfortable.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
actually are pretty comfortable.
yeah.
I support it.
So I found sometimes, like, I mean, I don't mind wearing masks, but sometimes they definitely like ruin the back of my ears. Like, kind of
Oh, yeah,
like you get
yeah.
that like a rug burn.
I had this epiphany one day. I was in the bathroom at work and I was trying to fix my mask and I realized that my one ear was being pulled down a little bit. I was like, I'm turning into Steve Colbert. Because you ever notice that he's got one ear that tips
No.
down a little
Yeah,
bit?
yeah.
You, once you see it, you'll
I have
never
to-
unsee it ever. But I thought of that because
shit.
for some reason the mask would pull one ear down. I'm like, why is it doing that? But it's really funny, the stuff you just think about sometimes.
That is funny.
For no
That is
particular
funny.
reason. I mean, I love Steve Colbert. He's hilarious, but I just sometimes find that I focus on his one ear. It's just a little.
I
off.
haven't watched him in a while, and now the first time I see him, like the next time,
That's all you're gonna see.
You're gonna be
Yeah.
cursing me because you're just gonna see that. Like,
it's gonna
can't
change the
unsee
game
it.
for
It
me.
is, it is.
You just
It's
made
so
it
funny.
like a whole nother level of interesting.
No, I just mind blown.
You gotta have a shot every time you look at his ear.
Yeah.
You're
How
wasted.
is everything sounding okay? Am I doing all right?
You're
Yeah.
killing it, man.
All right, great.
You're killing
You
it.
have like a good radio voice. It's,
Thank you.
It's kind of just
I
natural. It's
wondered
kinda
how that
cool.
was going to come across.
Have you ever like
but-
mic'd yourself up and listened to you?
No, never ever. I think maybe just talking to customers every day over the years. I think it just. I mean, besides just, it's a confidence thing. I think that I've never even done vocals for a band, but I still feel like if I was, had the chance to just do it, it would probably
and
work
talk
out
in
okay.
front of a microphone. Yeah, it's a little weird. Like it takes a while to get used to hearing yourself or other people in general in the same room in your headphones.
Yes, yeah, this is definitely took me a few minutes, but I mean,
It takes you out like away from everything else and brings you right to like the center of what you're doing.
At first, I just felt like I was in the recording studio because I've recorded a lot, you know, and had to wear headphones for things. And it's weird when you're playing right next to someone, but it's only coming through here, especially for drummers, because that sound is coming off of what they're doing, and it's right in front of them. But yet, it's like they have to focus on this, and then like my drummer just started using in-ears for playing shows and stuff, and he's been doing it at practice, and he said it's like you wear earplugs and it muffles it. Even the good ones still take out a lot of the sound. You know, because they're cutting down decibels to protect your hearing. But he said in-ears are great because you're just getting a really, a cleaned up, controlled version of what you sound like. So I can see why live people do it, live musicians, because the sound is never really that great. I feel like for people that are on stage, they have more the issue of like...
It's a clarity thing. The clarity is not there.
Yes.
So
definitely.
In-ears will definitely help. Headphones, you can even do like wired. Like they don't have to be wireless. Like if you're a bass player, you just put it by your mic stand and like wired. Unless you jump around everywhere. If you do, then you need like wireless.
That's true. Yeah, that wouldn't work for a lot of bands. They would just be tripping over. I had a wireless for my guitar, and I just always felt like even though it only strapped onto my guitar strap, I still felt weird having this dangling thing. But then it's very easy to trip over your cable when I have a pedal board with a million effects on it, and I have to worry about those cables. So I don't jump around much anyway. But it's still funny. Like, I gotta be conscious of that shit. I'm not the most.
It makes a big
person,
difference. I've fell a couple times on stage. It happens.
So you feel it. Yeah.
I've fallen off stage. But I was the singer. I was just an idiot.
That's right. I forgot you did the vocalist thing for a while. Oh man.
What do you play?
Guitar.
Same.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like not playing shows and but we have been recording, so I've had some activity lately.
I was self-taught for the most part, and I played for like 10 years, and I like strictly original music. I just loved original music.
Same.
I had like something against covers, and I wish I didn't because I would be great right now.
Right?
I've
had a similar feeling about that because I know a lot of my friends that have been playing, they make really good money doing covers. And I think I got a bad taste in my mouth because of what a stereotypical... When you grow up at the Shore, you think about Jenkinson's or Bar A and cover bands that do like popular stuff, mainstream stuff. But then I also, when I started seeing cover bands or tribute bands that were more in a genre, and they have a different kind of a following.
They do. Because it's more consistent of the same style.
Yes, of course.
But there's also that fine line. There's also that fine line between good cover band and straight butcher.
Oh, yeah. I don't want to name names, but I've seen bands where they're
that's
pulling
what put
thousands of people, but I think they're terrible.
Yes.
Just because people can sing along and dance to these and drink and have a good time, but
it's
like
fast paced enough where it grabs.
Like the singer was usually like the weak link, you know, and it's whatever. They're having a good time. I don't ever want to seem like an elitist. That's just
shit. If I could do it, I would, and I would probably be one of those guys.
Right. For the first time I ever thought, like, we've been talking about covers lately, and like as a band, what would we do? Because we all listen to different stuff, some of the same stuff, but we don't want to do it where we're just copying something and doing it justice.
You would want to make it your own.
Yeah, because there's some old songs that you could really redo and really, because a lot of bands, I don't know if you guys have discovered this, but I've found a lot of bands that did covers over the quarantine time just to record and just to keep busy, and it just is inspiring. Like I heard a band do Them Bones and Rooster from Alice in Chains, two different bands, and it's like they both approached it in a totally different way but made it their own, and it's just, I don't know, I just thought it was
because
awesome,
people can get creative with it now instead of just saying like, hey, I'm going to replicate this. Like, we have all the time to make this our own.
There's no time. Yeah, for sure. Nice. No time restraints. They can take as much time.
Did you guys ever get a vocalist or no?
Yeah, we've had a vocalist. Sean has been in the band for, I want to say, about 6 months. He has jammed with us in the past. We had a couple other tryouts with him, but our old bass player didn't like him, and Carmine really wanted to. Carmine's our drummer, and he also was like, I don't know if I want to do a vocalist because we had been instrumental for a long time. We just didn't have any luck with finding the right singer. So we just kept writing and we got used to that. And I was like, I just feel like we're still missing that one thing unless the music has to take a more technical approach. And then I love a lot of instrumental bands, but I felt like we needed it. So Sean I hit him up last year, and he came, and we gave it a couple months to see if he could just find his place, because we have all these songs that are already written, and they've been written. Some have been recorded, so he's got to come into the fold with us, and that's a lot to ask of a singer, you know. But I think he's doing really good. I mean, like, just recording and listening to him make the songs his own and hear how strong he actually is. Because when you're practicing, or even on stage, you don't really know
it's
precisely
different.
what's going on.
Being in a studio changes the whole song.
Right.
100 every time.
Yeah. My
It's
drummer
producing.
My drummer has a setup at his house. He's got ProSonus, and he's been doing some recording. And like, we just did some demo versions of the songs before we recorded. And that was the first time I heard him actually singing and hearing the cadences, the melody lines that he was doing. And I was pretty stoked on it, you know. So we're almost done. We have
And you can go back and correct them.
Exactly.
That's the best part, because if it doesn't come out the way you want it to, like, you can. It might be one way when you start, and then like at the end of it, it's something completely different, and it's like just crafted better.
Absolutely.
That's good. Awesome.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear like something.
Right. I can't wait to put it up like on Spotify.
When are you
like,
putting it up?
Do
you have a date?
No, because we still have to mix, and then he wants to talk to us about mastering it. So it's probably still going to be a couple months.
Where are you recording this?
It's at it's called Submergent Studios. It's in Middletown.
Okay.
Pete Andrews is he just feels like another member of the band at this point. We had a really cool meeting with him. It was random. He just happened to be it was probably about the time that you saw us, Chris. It was a few years ago with our old bass player, and we just played a show at the Brighton with our friends, and Pete just happened to be there. And he came up to me after our set and said, "Hey, I'm Pete. I own a studio. I really like what you guys are doing. If you ever want to work together, you know, I would love to work with you guys." And fast forward a couple years, we were talking about recording with Will, our new bass player, and Sean. And I was like, you know, this guy Pete Andrews, he came up to me, and, you know, we talked about it, and I just had a good vibe about this guy. And so we did a video chat from the practice room back in August, I guess. And I said, "Hey, Pete, are you eventually going to start tracking again? We want to do something." So we did a video chat with him. Everybody felt good about it. He sent us a bunch of examples of his work, different bands he worked with. And I like that he worked with different kinds of bands. Like, he did like heavier, like stoner rock bands, which is a little closer to what we do, but he's also did like pop punk singer-songwriters. He's worked with Dentists, who's a popular band around here, all different stuff. And
I think I know Dentists.
Yeah, they're based out of Asbury, but they've been around for a while. They're very good, you know.
I don't think I've heard them like ever personally, but I've heard of the name.
Yeah, they're a great band at what they do. So
cool.
So we told him what we wanted to do, and we just started tracking, and it's been the most relaxing recording sessions I've ever had in my life. Like,
that's awesome.
We tracked drums for 5 songs in one day. And
nice.
We just, you know, we would go back every couple weeks for a few hours. It was very low stress, you know. He's got a studio built off his house, and he has a full-time job. This is just something he wants to do for fun, and but he's so professional, but so relaxed. He's got a million toys to play with, pedals everywhere, and he's a drummer, so he just had a lot of good suggestions for Carmine.
Yeah.
Like, even down to just playing a different snare. And he was like, I don't know, you know, and he really liked it, and I think it sounds really good. So just little things like that make a difference.
That's cool. It's good when there's people involved that actually care about what they're doing.
Yes. Yeah. Because it's easy to find somebody. I mean, I've done plenty of demos with my bands where it was just like, you know, the guys just don't know about hardcore, punk, metal, and they just do it.
Or they don't know about your band. Like, he reached out to you saying,
right,
I like what you're doing, which means he had an idea of where you're going, you know?
Because we don't play out a lot. We don't really, we're not super active, but the fact that he heard us once and really liked it was like, oh, okay, this guy gets it. And he plays in a band with his son. He's got like the best setup. He's got like, his son is in his 20s, I believe, and he plays in a band with him. And I'm like, how cool is that, you know?
Yeah.
They just do it
and they
for
play
fun.
out a lot? Like,
I don't know if they ever play shows, to be honest. I think it's just a recording project. So, but he played it for us. I was like, this is really good.
You should see if they ever want to do like a video version of that.
Yeah, I would definitely ask him because they made a few music videos, but I don't think they've ever done anything else. But I'm sure they would play live if they were given the opportunity, even if it was just some sort of a live stream thing or something.
Yeah,
So
it could be a set. It could be talking about their videos. It doesn't have to be them just playing. Like
Yeah,
it
that
could
would be
be
cool.
like a show.
Mm-hmm.
I think it would be kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm into that.
It'd be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Be a lot of fun.
Trying to think, did you see us play at when we did that at the Headliner, that festival
Yeah.
thing? Oh man,
When you opened for VOD.
Yeah. My friends Joe and Carmine, who's in the band, they do that metal festival, and it had been at the Brighton every year, and that was the one year they tried to make it bigger by
Going to headliner?
yeah, and it was such a financial disaster because it wasn't
They went to
intended well.
Headliner?
Yeah, dude.
Because
It was
some-
before I knew all you guys.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they rented it, and it was like it was just hard to promote it because people wouldn't go to Headliner for a show like that. You have a bunch
Yeah.
of metal hardcore bands, VOD playing, and they had a guarantee, and they were like, "We don't care. We want to get a band like them." It was. I know they lost money on that.
Like headliner in Neptune.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
couldn't
God.
believe
It was so strange to be playing there.
That's
I
and-
couldn't
so
believe that I
weird.
was watching VOD with 12 people.
Yeah.
That's it.
Because that's never happened before. I
Yeah.
mean, you and I probably have seen VOD.
I've seen
back in the
VOD
day.
and I was like this.
Oh, yeah.
In the middle, and it was just all pit.
It was very awkward.
I
It
did
was
a
very
punk
strange.
hardcore show. I did sound at Bamboo in Seaside.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that's weirder than like we used to play
That's
the
weird.
surf club back in the day,
Yeah.
like in Ortley Beach, and that was weird. I can't imagine Bamboo like that kind of a crowd.
That's weird.
It was
Actually,
so weird.
Bar A actually was allowing us to do shows there a couple times, and on a Wednesday night or something on an off
For
night.
original bands?
Yeah,
or-
for original bands.
Oh,
And actually,
that's
went
before
really
my
well,
time,
But,
but-
yeah, that was cool. I wish that had it continued because we actually got a lot of people to come out for that.
No, me
Oh,
too.
that's
Because
awesome.
that's a good venue for it.
Yeah, because that one room, I think it's a good size room for if you want to have original bands.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was cool. Different vibe than the usual.
It's more than any original band would ever have on their own, like equipment wise.
Oh yeah, for sure. We felt pretty pro that night.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You should see it
That's
now.
awesome.
I've worked there for I guess maybe 6 years doing
Oh,
sound
okay.
there.
Yeah, it's all different. Everything's all
Everything's
brand
different.
new.
Like even after I had left, it still was upgraded more, which is good.
So this was there any reason, or they just decided, hey, it's time for us to upgrade? Because it seemed like it never changed all the years that I had.
A
been
lot
there.
of their
Then you
stuff
worked
wasn't
there.
LED
Yeah.
before I got there.
Okay.
Maybe it just transitioned into that, but there were no moving heads. There were nothing was really going on.
The bones of the building still look exactly the same.
Mhm.
Like when you walk in, it's still the same exact. But they definitely revamped the audio
looks good
video
now.
Okay,
Yeah,
side of it. Yeah.
it's a cool place.
nice.
Outside of that, I own NJ Audiovisual, which is like a production company, sound company.
Mm-hmm.
Do sound lighting. I work with Eagle Production, which is full production. They do video walls and stuff like that.
Okay.
Projections, lighting, full sound. They just bought a pretty damn good sound system recently.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'm doing live streams with R3 Streams. So it's just the internet now. I've never really just felt so connected with people through Zoom and I was never a guy to FaceTime somebody. I thought that was the weirdest thing.
Mhm.
He does it to me all the time now, and I'm like, come on, dude, really?
I mean, I don't see your face enough. Now you're FaceTime.
Yeah. On the toilet or something,
Yeah.
whatever.
It's
hey man.
There's no boundaries. There's
No.
no limits anymore.
And it's just
That's so
weird to
great.
have that because you can have connections with people a normal connection through FaceTime now,
Mhm,
and it was so weird and just I don't know. For me, it just seemed odd.
Yeah, I think it comes full circle back to when I was talking about when my son would when he FaceTimes with his friends or Zooms. That's his way of connecting. It's
Yeah.
I used to really be opposed to that too because I've never really been a techie person. But it's when I've seen bands be able to function on their own using Bandcamp and things like that, it's really the new DIY. Really,
Yeah.
because think of what you're able to do and what I'm able to do, and it just there's so many the options are limitless at this point. I don't think we've even scratched the surface.
No.
I mean, I know and that's not even talking about VR or any of that kind of stuff. Just being able to do so much and connect with people on that way is amazing. It really is.
Were you a musician or like artist first?
Definitely artist first.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just drawing as a kid. It's hard to imagine not doing it because, I like Godzilla movies and Legos and Transformers and Dungeons and Dragons. So as a kid, it just was all it was coming out. I like
It was just
modeled
visual
kits.
and you just wanted, it was your outlet.
Yeah.
See, now me, I can't draw a stick figure. I mean, I drew a piece of toast once. It was pretty cool. I wish I still had it. No, I really did. I drew a piece of toast. It was like, it had boxing
you should
gloves.
tattoo that on you. It's too bad you don't have that anymore.
I'm going to try to find it. I know I didn't throw it out, but it had boxing gloves. It was cool. It was my little, I don't know, I was like in here being creative, and it was my doodle.
But doodles are the best though. I mean, I have a hard time just doodling like that.
Yeah.
Just off the no thought involved because I'm so focused on drawing tattoos and stuff, and it's like I always have a purpose for everything. So I find it a challenge these days to just draw for enjoyment. So the folk art that I started doing like during the quarantine is like that's my way of getting out of tattooing and getting out of precision and out of like I'm doing this for someone else. I have to keep telling myself this is just for me. There's something I need to do to get away from that because it is a job. I mean, I love it, but I mean,
that's why if you listen to my music playlist, music's all over the place.
Yeah,
because I do sound for like cover bands, and I hear the same songs over and over and over again. So like you just get in my car, and it's just like EDM or like gangster rap, like whatever, it's all in there.
But that's awesome.
You might hear Britney Spears. Who knows?
like I found
whatever.
myself listening to Taylor Swift a lot.
She's sweet.
She is.
She's wholesome.
She is wholesome. But like seeing her work with these other musicians and collaborating with them, it's like I guess I never thought of her going in that direction. I thought she was always going to be more just a pop country singer, but it's like she's just doing stuff with Bon Iver and the guy from The National and like. I don't know. It's awesome. And she did live streams too. She's got one on Disney Plus of her like doing her new album, but with the guys that produced it with her for the first time in the studio. Yeah. I know. I love the in studio stuff. I could watch that stuff all day. Like when bands are in the studio, it doesn't even matter if I like them. It's just
cool. Like the work,
the
and
atmosphere,
like the
and
cleanness
everything.
of a studio. I try to base my live streams off of Sirius XM.
Okay.
Like their live streams are so minimalistic. And it's literally just an artist or two, like an acoustic and a singer, two guitars, just on a normal, like it's not even a stage, it's just in two chairs with lights behind them and like a couple videos.
And I've never watched that. I haven't had Sirius in years, but that's awesome that they do that.
It's kind of neat.
They do that on like different stations. It doesn't even matter.
I usually just find clips of it on Facebook, to be honest. But that's
great. Each station has their own... what have you.
And whatever works in that context. Obviously, you can't do like a lot of electronic art or metal bands or whatever. But
even Disney doing that, like my first dream job as like a child was I wanted to be an animator for Disney. Like I enjoyed drawing or like creating things like that. Actually, Billy from Fast Times. I've known this one of our other friends that tattoos when I was like 5 years old. And we would draw comic books together and like cover like to the back, like multiple page comic books. And then I moved. I haven't seen him for like 10, 15 years. I start going to this tattoo shop. I go for a different artist who I met working at Bar A. And I see this other guy tattooing. And for about like 6 months, maybe to even about a year, I would just be like, hey, man, what's up? I didn't know that was Billy from like when I was 5 years old.
That's wild that you reconnected.
We reconnected, and just because like I'm growing up now, he's growing up now. We both have a lot of tattoos. We just look so different in general. We didn't realize, and like when somebody said his name, I was like, no fucking way. And I was like, I remember drawing comic books with you.
Do you have them?
And now the comic book still. Yeah. I wish I did.
Oh, because I found some of my stuff when I was younger, and it was so cool to see. I mean, you would see them now, and they would probably, I would bet money that they look different in reality than what you have in your memory.
100%. Yeah.
Because when I found those drawings that I had, or they were just coloring book pages, that stuff looks totally different in my memory. Memory just colors things a certain way.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
makes it
know?
look better.
Yeah, we romanticize
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah.
But I must say, I was coloring in the lines as a kid, so I think there was
That's
a little
good.
bit of foreshadowing. That was actually
You're like,
tattooing.
oh shit,
That's
look at this
awesome.
different
Yeah.
texture with crayons
Yeah.
and marker, you know,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
or whatever.
I was shading and
Yeah.
trying to work the colors in.
When did you start tattooing? Like, how long have you been doing that?
Tattooing full time.
When did your journey begin?
I started apprenticing like 2003, and then by 2005 I was doing it full time. So this is like year 16. I got the bug in high school, and it's sometimes it's hard to condense the story because it's like it's so much a part of my life now. I've been doing it for a while, but like Vinny Kapaleski, who ended up apprenticing me and being my mentor, was the cool art kid in Neptune High School, him and his friend Aaron. And I've told this story so many times. They would like, back in the 90s, it was very popular to paint on people's jackets, paint on sneakers, like
fuck
Nike
yeah.
and everything.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, so Vinny and Aaron used to do that. And like Aaron was more of like a comic book artist, but Vinny was very much into graffiti, very bold stuff. So they would just paint on jackets. I remember this one kid, I can't remember his name, but he had a full-length leather trench coat that had a Spider-Man painted on it that Vinny had done, and I'll never forget him walking down the halls in this jacket. So
Nice.
so Vinny and Aaron, when they graduated, they wanted to apprentice the tattoo, but no one would apprentice them. So they bought equipment out of the back of Easy Rider magazine, which is what you did back then.
Yeah,
There was
yeah.
no buying it online, really. So they
Yeah.
ordered a kit, and they just started tattooing people. And me and a bunch of my friends were like guinea pigs. And,
Just right into it, just straight
yeah, there was
tattooing
a
people.
little
Yeah,
bit. Yeah,
dude.
we
That's
didn't really.
fun.
We just. I myself believed in Vinny as an artist because he was so good. Like it just, he would.
If he could draw, he's got to be good with a needle.
Right, and that I found out later on is not always the case
No.
because Aaron never ended up sticking with it. He couldn't make the jump because it goes from your artistic ability and you're crossing over into a technical skill like a craft, and a lot of people can't make that jump.
It's a
They
different
can't-
tool in general.
Yeah, you can't hold this big clunky metal piece of vibrating equipment and make it do straight lines and make it, I'm jumping ahead, but Vinny really took to it like instantly. I felt like he was just good from the get-go, and he just knew how to design things properly and make things look bold. And even though I was never fully into graffiti or that bold new school style, I just loved what he was doing. So he
Yeah.
became a role model, and then he would help me with use this kind of paper, use these kind of crayon, like colored pencils and markers. And he would teach me how to do flash. I wasn't really painting yet, but he would show me how to do it. And that's just the way a lot of people did it back in the 90s. They did all their flash, just wild colors and everything. It was just a cool time.
Yeah, yeah.
Tattooing was taking a big jump in the 90s, from,
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't
At that
just
point,
all
you'd be showing
tribal.
off your art.
Yeah, it wasn't all tribal.
It wasn't all
Although,
tribal.
Yeah.
I'm so glad I wasn't around for that.
I'm guilty.
Yeah,
I'm
because you
guilty.
would have it.
I would.
I'm guilty.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, the thing I have lasered off my arm was tribal, and it was just it was just so popular. Don't
Hey,
think I
dude,
haven't
it
seen
I
was
was
that before,
like
buddy.
16. I was.
Oh,
I
wow,
was,
you started early.
I was young.
Yeah.
I waited till I was 18. My parents said I had to wait.
I was a
but,
youngin'.
yeah.
I was 17 in my first tattoo.
Yeah.
That was in a
Yeah.
bathroom. I was in a sketchy bathroom in
See,
somebody's
here I am.
house.
Oh, man. I had mine done at a dining room table. So you actually had me, I think you had me up on this. So
Oh my god.
that's a funny little side story. The guy that did my first tattoo, he told me he was doing tattoos out of his house. So I went over to his house, and I thought it was sketchy, but I was like, whatever. He was recommended to me, and we were doing it at the dining room table, and I was like, oh, okay, I got what I wanted. I found out later
Yeah.
that was his brother's house, and his brother was on vacation.
Oh, shit.
So he was squatting at his brother's house doing
Just
tattoos.
doing tattoos.
And I found out this guy was just
Yeah.
a complete lunatic. I don't even want to mention his name,
No.
but he's
You gotta respect his hustle at that point,
Oh,
though.
of
Yeah,
course,
yeah, yeah.
I did. And he wasn't a bad tattooer. It's just that, like, he was a biker, and he
Yeah.
kind of had that wild mentality, and he was like, he didn't care. He would tattoo anywhere. He was, in and out of shops. He still tattoos to this day, I believe.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
But, again, he was a lot better than some of the other guys that were trying to get going
Yeah,
at that
yeah.
point. He could put in a good tattoo. But it was so, anyway, to get back to the Vinny thing, like, he just started jumping around from shop to shop after working in his house for years. And I I just had this thing. I just wanted to do it, and I wanted him to show me. And even though there was a good scene around here with tattooing back then, he seemed like the only person that I felt comfortable with even talking to, because I was pretty shy. I was pretty introverted back then, but I knew I really wanted to do it. And it just kept getting put off, over the years, just from him jumping around. He was all over the place. And typically when you do an apprenticeship, the person that apprentices you is the owner of the shop. So he didn't, he said, well, I want to open my own shop one day. And if I do, I promise. It was like a handshake agreement. If I open my own shop, I'll apprentice you. So I just worked and just played in bands and did some touring and just had some fun doing that. But I went to Brookdale, wasn't really sure what I wanted to do. And I was really just kind of stalling because I feel like it's going to happen, but maybe it won't, And then I got to think, what's the backup plan? I'm getting an art degree, but I didn't know what I was going to do. I thought about going into the union that my dad was part of, the plumbers and pipe fitters, because I knew I could have. He always said I would be a good welder because I had a steady hand.
Yeah, for sure.
And but that was my backup plan. So
that's a good backup plan.
Right. So fast forward to about 27, I think, is when Vinny finally said, "Hey, I'm opening a shop. If you still want to do this, let's do this." So I said, okay, great. So I quit my job. I got another job because I needed a set schedule. I needed to work because I was living with my girlfriend at the time, and I still needed some people when they apprentice, they just become like the shop helper and they get paid, but they're not really paid that much. So I just knew that I needed to work. So I worked 4 days a week, painting houses with my uncle. I told him I needed a job for 2 years. I said, I'm going to tattoo. This is my plan. And it couldn't have worked out any perfect. So,
like you planned it out, just like that, and it worked.
Yeah, I'm so grateful every day that things fell into place. Because I know some people that have had some very rough apprenticeship experience, and either the person they apprenticed under, were not that good, didn't have good intentions.
Get treated like shit.
Like shit. I mean,
that's a big one.
Believe me, tough love, I think, is very important for an apprenticeship.
But there's a fine line.
Oh, yeah. I've seen some people that have been through the ringer. I know artists that, they got apprenticed by bikers and they just ended up taking their equipment and leaving them with nothing, and because they want to leave. And there was that territorial thing back then where, you can't leave, I basically am responsible for you. So I'm very thankful for the apprenticeship that I had. Vinny, I owe him everything.
Yeah.
So,
nice.
Yeah. Him and Josh still own Broken Heart Tattoo. It's still in Keyport after all these years. And yeah, we had some great times there.
Now, in your time tattooing, have you ever had a oh fuck moment and then been able to pull out? You know what I mean? Where
that anxiety of thinking I'm drowning in the tattoo I'm doing.
Yeah, have you ever been so far in the weeds where you're just I don't know what to do, and then you just kind of.
Yes, there have been a few moments where it could be just something as simple as.
I guess I could have reworded that question a little bit better. I'm sorry about that.
Well, but I know what you mean, though. And there's been moments where I wiped off the stencil by mistake. Just even simple things like that could be oh shit, and then I have to remember that okay, I can walk away for a second. I can take a magic mark, I can take a Sharpie, draw it back on. I've had people that just sat terribly, and I've had to somehow make. Are you kidding me right now? Kris, you always say you sit like shit, and you don't.
My chest was pretty bad.
Yeah, but we got through it.
Yeah, we did.
And you still like me after all that time. So, it was I hate you, but, it's rough,
Some of them are.
That's my next venture is to finish my chest. So I know that I will be thinking about all of my customers that I tattooed on their chests.
Yeah.
So.
Mine, it was a love-hate relationship for, I got the outline and I didn't get it shaded or colored for 3 years. I was just fuck no.
That's common. A lot of people say, you know what, I need a break from this. But then did you find it hard to go back and redo it?
No, it was better than I expected it to be coming back.
Oh, that's good.
The worst for me was probably my ribs, my side, or or my stomach maybe.
That's the ribs, stomach, sternum. Those are typically the areas that they're not great, at all. So
Kris scared the shit out of me. He was like, "Oh, for your back, you're going to be in so much pain." And
that's an area that I've heard many. I don't have my back done yet, but it's either one extreme or the other. It's the worst thing ever.
I guess I just have a lower tolerance of pain the older I'm getting. It is true though. The older you get, the more tattoos suck. It's a fact.
absolutely.
It's just
I'm
a fact.
noticing that.
Yeah, for
But
sure.
when I was getting my back done, I thought I was going to snap this guy's table in half.
Because you were just gripping on for dear life.
I was dude.
And I don't even know what you have on your back. Like I don't
He's
know
got
if
that on his
I got
back.
that wolf head.
Oh, I don't know if you ever showed me. Maybe we just talked about it, but
Oh wow, that was weird.
Yeah.
oh yeah, that was some cool atmospheric static. You know,
Yeah, I have.
Big brother watching.
right? And you didn't even hit one of those colorful buttons to do it.
I didn't. I
That's
didn't.
real life shit.
Right, that's real life.
Oh my god.
Where is it?
So, have you gone to like just different artists for everything? Have you collected?
I'm a collector. Yeah.
I like collecting.
One of them has passed. One of them has moved.
Wow, man, that's a serious tattoo.
It sucked.
I'm sure it did, but it looks awesome.
Thanks, man. I was just telling him before
That's a big back piece.
when we
Big
when
back
we
piece.
when we do our segment later. Like sometimes I have nightmares that ends up on one on those websites. Like
As if like somebody would say, "Oh, that thing's
That thing's
horrible,
haggard. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
It's
I
not
do.
though. It looks
I
good.
have nightmares sometimes. Like I wake up sweating. Like
That's crazy.
And then I'm
you have
like,
that
all right.
anxiety about that.
yeah, it's just huge. It's
Dude, I was giggling like a schoolgirl, like in the center of my spine, and I was like, you know, Kelly.
yeah.
I was like, you gotta stop. I'm just like laughing, and every time she would get close, it's like somebody blowing on your back, like when they're trying to fuck with
Yeah,
you. You know what I
that's
mean? And I was just like, oh fuck. I was like, yo, you know that's like going straight to my dick, right? You gotta calm down. Calm down.
Yeah. We need to redirect this because
Yeah.
this is not where I want to go.
Yeah, we have
No,
to finish.
Yeah, this is getting into awkward.
That's funny.
Well, speaking about awkwardness, we got a lot of haggard or weird tattoos.
Yeah, we're gonna look at a
Tell
couple
me,
of really funny.
like your
fucked up-
ideas. Like
I can't wait to see these. I need to take a bathroom break though, real quick.
Sure, yeah,
Yeah,
go for
yeah,
it,
yeah.
dude. Go for it.
Where's the bathroom, Chris?
Shh, right around the corner, right here. And then the lights behind the door.
we just edit this. We're almost at an hour.
Nice.
Nice. And Ash is doing so good.
She is. She's being a good girl.
Yeah, I'm gonna go up the list. This is our break. We will be back on in 1 minute.
I think that's so funny. The song that I have in the background of that.
Yeah. That's cool that we could just throw that in there too.
Yeah. Him and I are huge Boy Set Fire fans. So like the stories that I made the first two,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you noticed it was the same band. It was Boy Sets Fire.
No.
Yeah.
I wore my hoodie just
Nice.
for you.
Love that hoodie.
That's fire hoodie.
All right.
They just did a live thing recently.
Yeah, I heard about it. I haven't checked it out.
Yeah. I don't even I got to try to find it. It was really
Yeah.
good. It was really good. I saw like a snippet of it. It was cool. It almost looked like they were in different houses, like their own house.
Well, a lot of bands have been doing that. They like all record remotely.
Yeah.
I don't know what software they use for that, but
For what?
when they all will record a song together, but they're all playing in different places. Have you seen that where it's a split screen?
Yeah. You can use like Zoom. And,
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We could like, technically we can have a Zoom conference right now and everything that you're seeing on like that TV would be on my camera on Zoom.
Cool.
This program's amazing in so many ways. But going back into where we were before, I want to show you some couple tattoos. We have 5 tattoos for you.
5. I think they're pretty funny. I was going on for I was stuck for 2 hours scrolling through these just bad tattoos, and I'm like, it was so hard to find, just pinpoint a couple.
And they're bad for different reasons, not all the same reason. And we're gonna start with this one right here.
Wow, you guys are coming in hot right out of the gate here.
Yeah.
And they were super tough.
Hang on. I'm gonna get you.
There we go. There we go. That is the toughest tiger out there.
I mean, it's not as good as Sucky Panther, but
that's what it's called.
Okay,
Sucky Panther.
Yeah.
It's on that line. Sucky Panther. I would get Sucky Panther just because it's funny.
And that's the epitome of folk art in tattooing. That started as something that was not intentional. It's just that's how someone did it, and then it became the hipster thing to do.
It's like a meme.
Everybody, it's like a meme. Exactly. It's like the early memes.
Sucky Panther.
Yeah, Sucky Panther.
They put their face on everything.
I know. It seemed like everybody was posting on Instagram that they had some variation on that, which I thought was cool. But because I like when they do variations on those old. But that's not even. I don't even think that's super old. I don't even know. It's not like the Rose of No Man's Land or something like that. But it's just I don't know. It's amazing. But
getting into some portraits. He said, "Oh,
it's like the teeth." And he's got vampire teeth. It's like Christopher Lee as Dracula.
For me, it's the eyes. There's so much going on around his eyes.
Yeah, all those
He
wrinkles.
just looks sickly.
Look at the sideburns. Look at his sideburns.
Oh god.
It looks like a finger. And
He doesn't even look like he wants to be in that photo, let alone that tattoo.
No. I just photobombed with this lady. I don't even know her right now, but but meanwhile they've been married for 50 years.
Oh,
I mean,
you want to give them names? I mean, because I feel like that's Ira and
Ira.
He's got ruffles on his tux.
Ira and Neil.
Oh my!
This is great. I didn't even know you guys were doing this, but this is amazing.
Yeah.
It's just something fun,
So,
And I mean, I can't help but think I'm feeling better and better about my career trajectory, because even in the early days, I never took on stuff like that.
No way.
I would never,
your strengths.
I was always very cautious about taking on things. Some people are reckless. I mean, I'm sure we all know that. We know people that they just went for it and they didn't care. They were like, I don't care. I just want to do this, and it just looks terrible.
I know people that say that about getting tattoos. They're like, oh yeah, cool. And then they start talking about their ex-boyfriend that tattoos out of his house.
Oh,
and
or a hotel room.
Yeah.
Or they do tattoo parties, which still happens.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people that can do that and do it well.
Oh yeah, I mean, like I said, Vin started work. He worked out of his house for years, but he was always so professional. That was the difference. He just knew that. Because there were so few shops, and he couldn't get in anywhere. He was like, "Well, I'm just going to keep doing this until an opportunity comes up." And I thought that was awesome. He always had a room in his house that was dedicated to tattooing. He had his station, he had his barber chair, and I was like, "That's awesome." He had a pressure cooker in his kitchen so that he could sterilize everything.
Oh, awesome!
Yeah, because that's basically what an autoclave is.
Yeah.
It's just that a real autoclave costs thousands of dollars, but yeah, you could just use a pressure cooker.
That's awesome. So yeah, See, I'm thinking that the dick with the wings is photoshopped into the picture, kinda.
I don't think so, man. I think that's on there.
Really?
I mean, if you went for
McFuckface.
I mean, look at the spider butterfly up there. Those look
with
like
the
nipples.
titties.
Oh, those are titties.
Yeah,
veiny titties.
Wow. This guy, he hates his mom.
He does hate his mom. A psychologist would have a field day with this, right?
Oh, yeah.
Did you guys see Mindhunter? Have you watched that show? Well, it's basically about when the FBI profilers started with serial killers in the 70s, and they were basically looking at their childhoods and stuff and their parental stuff. I mean, this would be
Mindhunter. I got to write that down too.
Oh, Mindhunter is so good.
Well, just look at the detail of the dick with wings, and it's got a couple pubes on there, and it's got the traditional sperm shape coming out. Not even just water, droplets, like the emoji. It's a sperm.
The spider tit it's. I feel like it's not a badly done tattoo.
No, I think it's cool for what it is.
And that's what's funny too, is that like that skull and crossbones is pretty badass. So he went from that to, I'm gonna put a spider web and a spider on my nose, and then a dick, and like, what's going on here? What's his path been?
Yeah, he
woke up and said, I want to get those two on my face.
That was a rough road.
That was
a rough
you
road.
know, like when he got those done, like people called him McFuckface.
Oh yeah,
And that's why it's tattooed on his face.
he's like, I don't want to be.
This is who I am now.
What was that movie? I'm trying to think of that movie with.
Not super bad, right? With dicks all over everything.
Yeah, but what was his name? The one kid, Mick something.
McLovin.
McLovin. That's what I'm thinking of. Now he's McFuckface.
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 Does he eat a lot of McDonald's? Is that how it started, or what?
Like those guys that get the McDonald's receipt tattooed on their arms.
I saw that. I saw this. I saw
They
this
want-
huge guy eating something, but he had McDonald's, Wendy's, every fast food logo tattooed on his. I was like, dude, like
Were they even done well?
some of them were done really well.
See, that's where I struggle, because I see things that are completely ludicrous, but I'm like, they executed that really well.
Yeah.
One of my customers actually has a tattoo that says "Powered by Entenmann's," and he has the Entenmann's logo.
Oh shit.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, it's blue and it's faded. But I was like, the fact that he got that and it
Yeah.
was done well, I'm like, I'll give you props for that. That's unique,
cool.
you know.
It's nice seeing different things like that.
It's-
These are just like, but why? What's the story with the outfit though? Why green stripes?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a story. I want to know the story.
yeah, because that's not what he was wearing.
No, and these would be perfect for Monday Malarkey. Have you guys checked that out on Instagram?
No.
It's you guys would appreciate it, because even though you don't tattoo, you've been tattooed, so you understand. It's this tattooer, and it's a great Instagram, and he posts pictures of, they're mostly memes with funny tattoo references, but then he also will post a tattoo like that, and it's just he comes up with his own captions. Like he would make up a story for that, and it will have you in tears.
Oh,
Amazing.
Because
You know what?
and then people bring captions in, and that makes the story even better.
am
So it's
familiar
almost
with
like
this.
it becomes a folklore, almost like they become like there's a character for McFuckface.
It's a group. It's a
and,
group on Facebook.
I love it.
I think it's just an Instagram,
On
but I don't
Instagram.
know. It
Monday
might-
Malarkey?
Monday Malarkey. It's just he makes like. He has merchandise that says "Dip and Rip," and again, unless you've been tattooed a bunch of times and you know tattoo artists, it would never make fun. It would never make sense to you. But there's so many good references.
No,
though,
Kelly.
you know?
Kelly's on there. It's about like more shop based. Like if you tattoo, you'll like the common questions that you get, or like
Yes.
the bullshit you got to put up
Yes. It's
with. Whether
so
it's fun
good,
of
though.
making fun of your intern, or
Oh,
like
yeah.
making fun of other people that you're sharing a
Yep.
chair with, or
Yep,
something.
That's exactly what it is. It's
Yeah.
one of the best Instagrams ever. I mean, we just all feel justified, I think, for feeling the way we feel sometimes. And sometimes I'm like, am I a terrible person for feeling this way? But I mean,
No.
working with the public is a whole nother level of service. It's not even like I talk to him on the phone.
If I hear
have
another
to
Dead
be-
Kennedy
Yeah.
song, I'll fucking kill myself. Like,
Yeah,
And that, that's why we're very conscious
yeah,
about
you
the
have
music we listen
way
to.
different, way different customer service.
Yeah.
It's way more intimate than just being on the phone.
Yeah, there was
You
a
gotta-
podcast that just came out, I think last year, the year before. That was the subject was this particular episode was just about setting boundaries with your customers, and I never thought about that because I'm empathetic and I like to talk to people and get to know them, but there are times where people have really put some heavy stuff on me during an appointment, and I take that home with me.
yeah.
Like I think about them. I don't think about myself. And I thought I need to be better about that because, we all have our own stuff going on. So like, why am I carrying around somebody else's baggage?
Yeah.
But I found it happening to me.
Yeah,
And I was
because
like,
you're
I
a
need to be
tattoo
better.
artist / therapist.
Yeah, the
so-
therapy session, man. It's
Do you
real.
do you have like a thing where you let people know about like, hey, you're digging a little deep right there? Like, are you good?
Yeah, I try to just divert it back to
Yeah.
something a little more positive, and
Nice,
especially when you work in a common area tattoo shop where you guys have seen those, where it's like basically you're not in individual booths, you're in the same space, and we have half walls that separate my coworker and I.
Stations.
So it's only two of us, so we have to be very conscious of what our customers are talking about.
Yeah,
Because then
yeah.
you get tense sometimes. Because like if one of our customers starts going off the rails about politics or something crazy, right?
You
The
don't
person
want
in the
your
next
customer
room-
being pissed off.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Like we had a situation where my customer was talking about COVID and hospitals and these conspiracies, but yet, unbeknownst to us, Michelle's customer was an ER nurse and was dealing with death
Oh my
certificates and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So we had to change the subject because he was upsetting her. I didn't know that until
Jeez.
afterwards.
Yeah. Well, it's a tattoo shop
and
at the same
respect to
time.
everybody, but there's certain things you just have to leave at the door. I mean, we all need
Yeah.
our time to
There's boundaries.
Tattooing should be an escape. I mean, we all need that escape sometimes. Let's
Well,
be honest,
here's the thing. For me, it's a tattoo shop, so you should expect whatever. But at the same time, if you market yourself as a tattoo shop that is a positive space, you'll get positive people.
Right. And it was someone that I knew, and I didn't really think about him going off the rails about certain things. And, and again, I found out after he left and talked to her customer, and I felt bad. But again, it was just a learning process.
Yeah.
I mean, we're just living in crazy times right now, and
Everybody's sensitive.
Everybody's very sensitive, and rightfully so right now, especially if you have a job in the healthcare industry, or you're seeing a lot of things that maybe a lot of us don't, and social media has twisted reality for a lot of people, and
Big time.
And I try to be so open-minded, but man, sometimes people just go for it, and I'm like, we can't go this direction right now. We have to keep things a little bit more in the middle,
Yeah.
We do, because you're right. I mean, when you're in a street shop, you're going to hear and see a lot of things. We've all been in those environments, I mean, I remember going in Body Art World in Point Pleasant, or even in Asbury Park, and man, it's like, you didn't know who was going to walk in the door. It could be a gang member. It could be a biker. It could be
I've heard Turf Wars, another shop,
Yeah, and I'm so glad that I never saw that shit, but it could have happened at any point, you know. There's just always been that stuff going on around here, so it's wild. It is really wild.
I'm not going to mention names or places or anything, but I remember going to get be tattooed, and the artist at the time was like, I just got to take my medicine real quick, and pulls out a bag of Coke and just right in front of me. And I'm just like, oh shit, what the fuck? And the tattoo came out pretty good. But I knew at the same time.
I mean, that was my next question.
Yeah. I smoked a joint at that point too. And then
he opened the door for a lot of things right there. He's like, are the prostitutes coming in next? I mean,
the shit that we
you're
talked
doing
about.
That, everything's on the table now.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
The shit that we talked about afterwards was just him trying to calm me down from being an anxiety attack, from weed, basically. And he's just all coked up and tattooing.
Did he seem more normal after he did it? Or did he seem like he was...
So that was my first time experiencing somebody doing that.
Yeah, I've never had any experience like that.
So I was just let's just see where it goes. And I mean, it's hard to see now, but it was this guitar, and it's pretty old, that's an old tattoo.
But it still looks like a guitar. I mean,
it's a guitar.
I'm
okay with that.
He was able to do that. And I wonder how he would have done it if he didn't do coke that day.
Me too. He paid a lot of attention to the wood grain. So
was he like this the whole time?
It was nice. No, it looked good.
Teeth,
this thing
totally
has years of sun beating on it.
Yeah,
it's pretty.
The forearm gets beat
a little,
up.
Yeah, it's a little rough. But I don't know. I've had so many weird experiences from tattoo artists. I was somebody's first tattoo. I was somebody's third tattoo. The first tattoo, I met somebody at a party, and they just got a tattoo gun off Amazon. Everything was sterile. They're like, I want to tattoo somebody, and I was like, I want to be tattooed by somebody that's never tattooed before.
Right.
And they're like, well, what do you want to do? And I don't know if you've ever watched Dexter's Laboratory. Dee Dee and Dexter switch cereal boxes, the decoder rings inside the boxes. So Dee Dee's doing all this military stuff, and Dexter's jumping around in a ballerina suit. And one of the things that Dee Dee has to do is get a tattoo. So she goes to this tattoo shop.
I've never seen this episode. I gotta search it out.
It's a good one. She goes to this tattoo shop, and it's just this bald biker dude with a skull on fire head tattoo. And he was just like, oh, do you want the skull with dragon wings, the skull on flames, whatever. And she's like, no, I want this one, and it's a gingerbread man. And he was like, oh, like this? And he has a gingerbread man on his thumb. And
that's what you got?
That's what she got, and that's what I got. Because, for a first-time tattooing, you can't fuck that up.
That's great.
You can't fuck that up.
Yeah.
And he was like, let's do it, right here. And I was like, no. I know what this
At least
is.
you had sense to do
I was like,
that,
I know what this is.
Yeah.
Well, the battery supply didn't work, so we just tapped on a 9-volt.
See that
that.
right there? That's like total jailhouse style.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
you need a
Yeah.
power supply, and it's like either a 9-volt or some sort of electric shaver, but you still got to plug the shit in.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Yeah,
wild,
the pedal
man.
didn't work for it, so like that's
Oh.
why we had like somebody on. They're like on, off, like when they needed it.
Yeah, nope.
It's like
It
you
was
had an
rough.
assistant for the
Yeah.
tattoo. Like,
That's
all right,
funny.
turn it on. Let's go. And that's what they say on Monday Malarkey. It's called, he calls it dip and rip. It's like basically you dip and you just rip through that tattoo.
Oh,
so
man.
that's basically what he did. I know. I have like my little anchor tattoo. I let my
That's
ex-wife tattoo me, and at the shop one time after hours. And I mean, like, I was like, it's chipping out now, but for a while it looked pretty good. She never did it before, you know.
Nice.
But
That's not bad.
yeah, it's pretty good. I tattooed myself. That was weird, you know. A lot of people ask me
I
if
wish,
I've ever done
yeah.
that for that, but yeah. And I gave 2 of my friends like my machine. We all got the same tattoo. Like I tattooed myself, and I let them do it after, and it was like pretty funny to see like how it looked, because we didn't even like put a stencil on. We just each drew it on ourselves and tried
Yeah.
to make them look the same, but they
They
didn't.
did it.
That's
It was a
awesome.
balloon skull. It was so cool. Like mine's covered up now, but the other 2 guys still have.
They still
theirs.
have it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see how long I can go with this on the TV screen or on the podcast. Like,
We didn't even get to this one yet. I think this is the crown jewel of the segment.
Yeah.
it's been
right
up for
here.
like
So-
good 10 minutes now.
Yeah, this is not a bad tattoo in any sense.
No, it was executed very well. I think that
It's actually kind of hot.
I mean,
I think they need to go in the belly button a little more and like, you know, color it up a bit.
add some little hairs.
Yeah.
You know, because again, I mean, we're assuming this is a man,
That has this tattoo?
because
I mean-
I don't know. I think it's a man, or biologically a man. You know,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but I could be wrong. We're only seeing part of the torso. There's no hair.
I mean, now that I look at it, though, if we're going to be critical, if you look at her left leg,
yeah.
the sock looks a little weird.
Well, yeah, there's a lot weird.
So-
Because they're, you know what I think it is?
Yeah.
It's those long socks. They
Yeah.
just droop down.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
But
But the right one looks cool, I guess, because her leg is up.
I
It
like
just
the
looks weird with leg
detail
down.
of the skirt is pretty cool on the inside.
Fuck yeah, the
it
skirt is
it's
great.
I've done plaid in a tattoo before, and that's not easy, you know, with like
Yeah.
doing all those outlines and color. But her, yeah, definitely the foot that she's laying on is like it just
Broken.
looks broken. Yeah. It just looks like it's been completely twisted in the wrong direction, and you know,
But the
this was
face
a
came out
master. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
she's got. I just wonder what anime this is from.
Yeah,
You know, because it's got to come from something.
for sure.
But there's that whole other world of anime that is hentai or hentai.
Hentai, yeah.
Are we
yeah.
saying
So you've not that you've watched it, but you
No,
what
I
it
know.
is,
I've
right?
seen. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so are we
so
I've
odd.
dabbled.
is this canvas the
Yeah,
guy
there's nothing
or
wrong with dipping your toes in the water, man.
You got
Oh yeah, of course.
I mean, but the detail. I mean, look at the Band-Aid. There's a Band-Aid on her knee.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
shit.
awesome.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
on them a lot.
Executed very well. She's got like finger on the nipple, covering it up. Did you notice it's strategically placed so you don't
Yeah,
see the
yeah,
nipple?
yeah.
But yet you can see her. Like
Yeah.
everything there is open for you to
So this
see.
canvas is a guy?
Open for business.
I'm gonna go with a guy.
Do you
I'm
think
gonna-
he cream pies his belly button all the time?
Absolutely. He wants to see how much he can get in there.
Oh, my
like,
God.
Like, what's your aim? Like,
That's
you know what I
fucking
mean?
great.
But even
You
like,
know he does.
when his partners see it, I mean, how do they feel about it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, would he let a guy penetrate his belly button?
maybe.
What it is?
Maybe.
There's a lot of possibilities here. We might
Yeah.
need to revisit
Endless.
this at a later date. You know?
Yeah, because I seen there's another one that I didn't put up. It's a female, and she's got a small anime character tattooed on her, but the legs are on her thighs, so
It
Yeah.
looks very
it looks for real anatomically correct.
I mean,
No.
that's
But
I
like-
admire their dedication.
And
to
it's
that.
it's a well executed tattoo, but again, if you look at it, it was a child, right?
it looked like a child.
It looked like a baby.
Yeah,
Like
it was
you're
it
about
was,
to
it was
bang
like a
a
weird
baby.
fetish
Right,
anime
which
tattoo.
is
baby.
weird because isn't that part of the Serbian film? Isn't there something with
yes.
a child? Because I've never seen it.
Newborn
With my,
porn.
oh,
That's
man.
what he screams.
Because my
What's that?
friend gave me.
Serbian film.
It's a film you don't ever want to see a second time, I'd imagine, because or maybe
yeah.
I'm not judging. Maybe
no,
Chris
no,
has
no.
seen it 5 times.
No,
We
no, no.
don't know.
I saw it twice.
But-
I saw it twice because I had to
Okay.
watch it the second time to really like grasp it. Like the first time I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
And then the second time I was just like, "Wow, wow."
It's a film that it has a legendary status because
Yeah.
of what
You should watch it at least.
Fair enough. I'll have to get into it.
Yeah, and I don't know if I can do it or not. I don't know.
That was rude. Sorry, guys.
Damn.
It's the bat phone.
They're trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty.
Those calls have been nonstop. They call up the shop even. Sometimes we get shop calls, and it's the same.
I saw like a TikTok of some guy with a baseball bat, and it's just like from the perspective of inside the car, and it just like right through the door, like through the window, and the guy's like, "I'm trying to contact you about your car's extended warranty."
Oh my god!
I'm just like, wow, that's pretty relevant.
That's
That's
awesome.
good. Yeah, I feel like that's their next step for me.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Oh yeah. We're all gonna be pushed to that at some point.
I get about 12 a day. It says spam risk. I'm like,
Yeah.
come on.
I got a call from Russia the other day.
Oh, that's
when I worked on
interesting.
my caller ID. It said Russia. Like there was no.
Maybe there was an invite. I don't know.
Maybe it could be one of those weird call centers. Wasn't that a Geico commercial where like it was like the little shed in the Siberia, and it's like they're talking to someone on the phone, and that's where your customer service is, like out in the middle of
Nah,
nowhere.
Putin wants a
much.
tattoo.
What's that?
Putin wants a tattoo.
Yeah, someone was trying to
man.
set an appointment.
Yeah, he's got his hands full with all those protests going on right
Yeah.
now. It's been pretty wild there. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, it's
This
scary in
whole
those
world is
countries
fucked.
that in those countries people just get intimidated and they can just keep reelecting the same person.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I heard something on NPR that there was problems in one of the African countries about like the opposition leader had basically was had no chance of winning because it's voter fraud, because those countries it's intimidation, and it's
Yeah.
also the person in power has been there for like 30 years at this point. Like
Yeah,
their
so-
prime minister. Yeah, well, some countries don't have limits.
Yeah.
At least we have limits,
Yeah, that's true.
although we probably should be doing it with like congressmen and senators. And I believe that.
And not reality TV stars or
Right.
whoever.
But even just to think if someone had 8 years, but some of these men have been in their seat for 30, 40 years.
Yeah, that's
it's
wild.
like,
Yeah.
I don't see how that's. I don't know that much about politics, but I just feel like the world changes so much now in the course of 5 to 10 years that it's like you need to change it over and bring in new blood. I think that
Yeah.
And that's what I think, like,
progression.
Because what worked 20 years from now isn't going to work today.
Right. You're seeing that now, the divide between people that are from that generation, and
Yeah.
and it's fine. You're always going to have that, but to be in a government position and
Yeah.
be controlling policy.
I just think it's weird how, I mean, maybe just my ignorance, but how some of the laws that were written hundreds of years ago are still in place today. And
Yeah,
like,
because no one's challenged it. No one's
it's just
caused
odd.
Like maybe we should revisit this.
We should look up like crazy laws, because I know that there's like weird things, like you can't
Oh,
fart in an
yeah.
elevator and
Right.
like,
There's still things about sodomy.
yeah.
yeah.
And I mean, you hear that word as a kid and you think it's the worst thing in the world. And then you
Yeah.
learn what it is and you're like,
This is
that's-
awesome.
Yeah, sign me up. But the fact that that's still illegal in some places, it's just. But then
There's
things like even
places-
women being able to buy a house by themselves is only changed within
Yeah.
or bank accounts, I should say. That's only changed
To
in the
sign
last
yourself
30
out of the
years.
hospital, you need your husband to write
Yep.
you out. Like,
I was told, I don't know if it's true or not, that it's like even going to get your tubes tied,
mhm.
you would need your husband's permission.
That's what I was told.
yeah,
Yeah.
but yet
Wow.
a guy can go get a vasectomy without anyone's permission.
That's
Yep.
crazy.
Yeah. And if you're over a certain age, women get like almost like talked out of taking birth control because it's like it's like they see you as, well, what if you want to have more kids? It's like, well, it's none of your fucking business.
Yeah, exactly.
And second of all, like taking birth control won't have those kind of adverse
And
effects
it's
most of the time.
for more than just not having kids. For
Right,
them,
and it's
you
being
know?
responsible. It's like I don't need to pop out more kids, Like maybe I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a 35-year-old woman or something.
Your choice, man. Like,
Right. And again, it's just let's just have a humanistic approach to these things. That's all we're asking for, I
Yeah.
think, at the end of the day.
but it's just some of those, like
It's
powder
your
wig
body, you
laws.
could do what you want.
Right, it's autonomy, I think, and that's like I know Kris and I have talked about like Satanism and certain ideas about just like just about freedom, body, from other people
Like,
controlling.
It makes
Split
sense.
tongues and implants and
Yep.
branding. I've wanted all of that stuff at some point in my life. I even wanted like to do suspension at one point in my life.
I heard that's the best high you can ever find.
I believe it.
Yeah.
I've never have, and I'm kind of like intimidated by it.
biologically, think about what that's happening to you. I mean, all those nerve endings firing like that, the adrenaline, the serotonin, everything that's happening. I mean, I can't even imagine like what that must feel like. I've seen it happen. Like they've done it at the conventions and stuff.
Yeah,
But there's also that
swing
debate.
that fucking guy around.
Oh,
like,
I know.
Dude.
But isn't that amazing how your skin is that elastic and strong that it could support your body weight?
I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I
know.
The way that his like handler was swinging him over the crowd, like far, not even just.
And in your head, you're thinking, this is going to be the moment his skin is going to tear. And what's he going to look like? He's going to look like Uncle Frank in Hellraiser. He's going to be like, hey, wasn't that great?
Oh, my God. Could you imagine?
No, I don't want to imagine. And that brings up a really interesting topic because there's a huge divide in like the tattoo world about whether tattoo conventions should be separate from body modification, suspension, because it's such a different approach and a different discipline that a lot of people feel like it should be separate because it almost becomes about the spectacle and not about like shock value. Because a lot of average square people that might just want to go to check it out are going to be so attracted to the idea that maybe somebody's going to be hanging from hooks or there's like a shock value, not so much about the artist of the quality of art for tattooers.
Yeah, you know? Like the draw for the wrong reason.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, I mean, I like the variety, but I could see that I understand both sides of it, you know, because I think that there's been a lot more conventions that are tattooer centered where it's just tattooing, it's by invite only,
and there's no freak show.
There's no freak show. Yeah, I mean, it's a great, like having those sideshows is really fun.
It's a lot of fun, and those people are so sweet. They really are.
They're the best people. Like the Jim Rose sideshow. I mean, I remember talking to one of the guys that's involved in that, and I mean, he just seemed like the coolest person, and I wanted to know all his stories, like where he came from, because they used to do all the. Remember, they used to be. I feel like every convention had the Jim Rose sideshow. Yeah, weren't they part of? I feel like they were part of Lollapalooza back in the day.
Oh,
I could believe that.
I don't think I've ever...
because as another attraction besides just seeing bands. You know?
Yeah. So I guess one of my questions for you is what's like the most shock value you've ever tattooed on somebody? Like what was the thing that shocked you the most? Like saying like, I can't believe I'm tattooing this.
Well, a funny tattoo I did, which I thought was pretty shocking, especially for him in his private life. This young man came into Neptune Tattoo when I was working there, and he was just a young man. Seemed like he was just really full of machismo and stuff. And I said, well, it was a walk-in. I said, well, what do you want to get? He goes, oh, I want to get some lettering. All right, well, let's be more specific. Where do you want it and everything? He goes, oh, I want it here, pointing to his groin. And I'm like, all right, what do you want? He said, where the magic happens, and I want to have 2 arrows pointing down. And I said, all right. And at that moment, I thought, I have to do this tattoo just to say I did it. And forever, when he has intimate relations, he's going to think of me in some way. He'll never remember my name, but he'll be like, this guy did this. And then I thought, is this going to negatively affect his love life? Because I'm thinking, are girls just going to laugh at him? Because I mean, I could imagine if I ever had that, a girl would be like, yeah, you're out of your mind. Like, like, you know, that ain't magic, you know, that's just smoke and mirrors, pal. You know?
Where the joke starts.
Right.
Have you ever tattooed a dick? Like,
I have.
How is that? Like, is it hard to do?
It's the most difficult thing ever.
I'm sure.
And just from I've tried to put this in the words so many times, and he's one of my best friends, and he had a tattoo on the head of his dick, and he wanted me to fix it for him. So if he hears this, he's gonna be dying laughing because he knows I'm talking about him. But he had a tattoo on the head of his dick, and it was pretty funny. It was a heart, an outline of a heart, just a red heart, and it was so he could tell girls he had a heart on for them.
Oh, nice.
So it had faded, and it looked like a birthmark.
Oh, no.
It kind of went from being red to like pink magenta.
Yeah.
So when he asked me to do it, I said, man, you're like one of my best friends. I'm like, I know you don't want to go to somebody. I'll do it, okay? And it was just, man, that tattoo, it was probably the size of like, you know, a quarter or whatever. Obviously, it's only so big. It's head, right? So if that tattoo was anywhere on anyone else's body, like on any other part of his body, it would have probably taken me 10 minutes. But man, it took me forever because a soft penis is just like there's no way to hold it
It's
right.
like wet spaghetti.
Yeah.
It's so ludicrous.
I don't think it could stay hard.
Oh no,
like,
no,
with the
there was
tattoo.
no way.
Yeah.
You're a true champion. You are a true champion.
Like,
And
take
I have
like
a
three
bonding that I will never have with any
3
other man in
Viagra
my
before
life.
you see me, half hour before.
You know what? That probably would have worked a lot better.
3 though. 3.
I don't know, man.
Well, can you take 3?
I don't know. I feel like my heart would explode if I took 1.
Yeah, same.
Yes, right. And it was very difficult, and I was trying to make it like as quick as possible, but he was like, I outlined it, filled it in, but like he's like, it's fine now, but I couldn't have lasted any longer, and I just did it as fast as I could, but it was very difficult. And I tattooed a woman like around her area. She had a guy's name. This was one of the other shocking ones I've done, is that she had another guy's name, like a guy's name right above it, and she wanted it covered. This was a broken heart, and she said, I want a butterfly. I said, okay. So that's, if you could imagine, like the body of the butterfly was covering up the tattoo, and the wings came around on the sides and went all the way down. Again, very difficult to tattoo around that area.
Wow.
And
How'd she sit for that?
she moaned a lot, and
I
I
bet.
think that it had to have been a mixture of
Yeah,
pleasure
pain and pain.
Like it was a little, the line was blurred there for sure. And this was the weirdest part about that. Besides the awkwardness of tattooing it, her boyfriend was with her watching.
Yeah.
But he was not the guy whose name, like, the name that I was covering up was not him. So obviously this was some guy in her past.
So you were
Yeah,
fixing
yeah.
that and cuckolding her boyfriend.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
So
You're the
now when
man.
he looks at that too,
You're
it's
right
not.
where I was going with that. You're the man. dude.
It's
You're
not
the
him
man.
looking at that too and being like, "Oh, this guy fucked her." It's no, this guy tattooed her and
Yeah.
like she like got off to it.
He definitely got off on it. He was
Yeah.
definitely
Just
enjoying
watch.
that
Nice.
a lot.
Just watch it.
Just watch.
Sit there and watch.
And I can only imagine what the rest of that evening went like. Like, you can't touch it. It's freshly
Yeah.
tattooed. And
She gave him a blowy.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
They still had angry sex. For sure.
She probably didn't even
He
care. It
ripped
probably
those fucking
ripped-
butterfly wings
Oh,
apart.
man. You took it to a level I never even took it to. Which is awesome.
Love that.
Yeah.
Fucking
Yeah.
love that.
There were some weird tattoos that I've done, but those were definitely some of the weirdest ones. And, I tattooed someone. The only other person I've tattooed their face besides Kris is a gentleman came in and had been in jail, and he had a symbol on his face, and he wanted to get it covered up. So I did a cross to cover it. I think it was a little black heart, maybe, or I think it was a little heart, and he was just like. Just
get it off.
Yeah, get it off. So I did a crossover because, of course, he became a born again Christian in prison and whatever. So, like, that was like with Kris. That was the first experience I've ever had, like doing a real full tattoo on someone's face, and I haven't done one since. It's just not, it just fits a certain lifestyle. It fits a certain kind of person.
I'm
Kris,
jealous.
it
It fits him.
I
So,
know. I don't think I can do it. Someone
Yeah.
asked me if I could do it. And I was like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I never thought.
You're
of
definitely going to get your third experience because I want a death moth up here.
just on one side.
Just on one side.
That would be really cool.
Just a black and gray death moth.
He's just
So
in it
you're
to
the one
win
to
it.
do it.
Yeah.
Just
you're the one
whenever
to
you're
get it.
ready.
Oh, you heard it here. I mean, we have to do it now.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
For sure.
It's,
Shave your head
that would
and
be awesome.
get a head tattoo with me.
No, I have luscious locks. I love my hair.
Hey, you should embrace that, man.
Do you know who I ran into? Remember when I did sound for Changing Lanes at that one bar, and the other guy who was like docking boats was like heavily tattooed? You don't remember that?
Don't.
Of course you don't. I saw him out the other night.
Oh, nice.
Because how many people with a head tattoo like are normally around? He's like, yeah, normally I'm the only guy. And I was like, I looked at him. I was like, I know you.
I got my hand tattooed a couple weeks ago. 2
Looks
weeks ago
great.
today,
I was going to
actually.
say, it looks
Yeah,
great.
So,
Sick.
Dave Shoemaker at Ninth Wave, good friend of mine, did it for me. So
Nice.
I had a little whale tattoo under there, and it just became like I just didn't like it anymore. I just was time to cover it. So I said patterns, waves, and made it happen.
It came out great.
Thanks.
Came out great. Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, a couple little barnacles on there, but it's almost completely.
I was your
healed now,
first
so-
palm tattoos.
I know. I was wondering how much actually stayed.
So that one's there.
This is way better.
We did that.
And
we
then-
did that twice, correct?
This was only once. They were both only once.
Oh, we never re-hit those.
No, every time I was getting tattooed, you're like, come on, let me do the hands. And I'm like, no, man, stop.
And I thought you would want them like done
Yeah.
again.
See,
Because we can piggyback that. It's not like that would take that long.
the
but
way this faded, I love that.
And that's a good point about getting your palms tattooed. You have to just accept that it's never going to stay 100%. Or maybe some people do, but I've never seen that happen where it's perfect. But that's cool. It's blue. It's
you could still tell what it is, and it just I don't know the way it looks faded. The where it faded looks cool.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then this. Obviously, I'll just get reblasted.
Yeah, and it's lettering, so we should try to get it as best as we can. I talked to a lot of tattooers about that, like when we talk about tattooing different parts of the body, is to how do they do palms? And a lot of people have different techniques for it. Sometimes they like dot it in one little bit at a time. Sometimes they just go into it and just make a trench in there because they're like, oh, I'd rather it bleed out a little bit than actually fall out. So we'll see. But yeah, man, anytime. Maybe we can piggyback it when we finish your arm. But
True.
Yeah. So, we got to make that happen.
Definitely have to set that up.
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm
You're
trying to
doing
get our
technical
camera
stuff right
back,
now.
yeah.
Tech on the fly, huh?
I'm telling you. Now I know why you keep him around.
My camera is fucking off.
If it was just me, honestly, it wouldn't be this cool. It wouldn't be this cool at all. It would be super bare bones. It would be just a camera and that's it. Audio and that's it.
And I know a lot of people, I listen to a lot of podcasts where it's just one person, and I wonder...
Like how they do it?
Yeah, because I know they have a
different.
second thing. Also don't do video or anything, but they
Dude, he does all the editing, everything. He sprinkles all the lower thirds on everything. I mean...
Chris could do it. If
I
he put
can
his
do
mind
it.
to it.
I'm not good at it.
Yeah, you could learn
It's
it,
not
but
my
it would be a
strong
bit
suit.
of a learning curve for you.
Yeah,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure. But that's a good, you complement each other. How long have you guys been friends?
The first couple days I started working at Bar A.
Oh, okay. So it's
like
relatively...
about 4 years. Like
Okay.
I think we're friends 5-6 years.
Mm-hmm.
So we're 6 years, we're 5 years. So it's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
My nightmare of recording past an hour and a half and my phone just not connecting as a camera came to life right now. So
We're an hour and a half, huh?
yeah,
Wow.
It's
You're really putting some time in today.
it's a good one.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I'm probably gonna. I'm done with figuring this out.
All right.
Okay. So we should wrap up.
Yeah.
All right, we can wrap up.
Well, we got it for most of it.
We got a lot of stuff, you know.
We did.
Yeah.
We did.
We definitely appreciate you coming on.
Yeah,
Thanks for having me, man.
Where can they find you? Where can the people find you?
Okay, I work at Trident Arts Tattoo in Long Branch, in downtown Long Branch. Quite an interesting area. I work by appointment. My Instagram is Go Get Chucked. And
that's
that's a story too. I'll have to tell you guys a story about that story another time. But at Instagram, I'm on Facebook, Charlie Ordino, Ordino.
If you look on that TV right there, you're right there.
There I am.
Yeah, there's
That's
his
his
Instagram.
Instagram.
Nice.
Love that. That is so cool. To Instagram and that's usually if somebody wants to find me, just send me a message on Instagram. And I work 5 days a week at Trident Arts, and it's a great little shop. I work with Michelle Zorn, who is awesome.
She's a sweetheart. She really is.
She's the best. She really is. I mean, when, just putting the shop together, when I knew it was just going to be her and I primarily, it was like, we're a good fit for each other. We spend a lot of time together. She's like the work wife, and her husband's
amazing.
great. And really lucky to have that. So
That's awesome.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys doing this. It was
thank
a
you
lot
so
of
much
fun.
for
We'll
coming
do,
and hanging out.
Problem.
We'll do another one soon.
That would be
And,
fun,
we
because
could,
there's always more to talk about.
Yeah.
We can go off on a lot of different
Yeah,
tangents.
for sure.
but,
And I also want to do another one. Maybe we'll get the band on.
that would be awesome. The guys would love to do something like that. It would just be so much fun to have the four of us in a room together with you guys.
Yeah.
Essentially, what I would like to do is definitely a full like a band, and I want to live stream a tattoo for you.
Oh, that would be cool.
Like
I'm into it.
from it doesn't even have to be live. Like we could even record a little bit beforehand of like you drawing the tattoo, unless it's like freehand, or like if you want to stencil it and like the process
I like
of
that
stenciling,
idea.
and just kind of get like clips of you doing that. Fast forward into you tattooing.
Wow,
You
I'm
know
into
what I
it. Yeah, I would love to do something like that.
Awesome.
I've never gotten into the video thing too much with tattooing, so I would love to do that.
I
though.
think it's just like it's like you have a portfolio for your tattoos. Like you can have a portfolio, like a video portfolio of.
I'm into it. I
Yeah.
like these future plans.
Yeah.
Right? That's cool.
Awesome.
I'm like a businessman at heart.
No,
so
I love
just
that,
think about
dude. And you have the
everything.
tools to do it, and you
Yeah.
have a lot of good ideas. So I'm down. So
You do that for my forehead tattoo.
done.
Actually, that would be a perfect lead-in.
Yeah, because it's so like what the fuck to begin with. You know?
Yeah, totally. You know, and it's not even like shock value. It's just like this is just something we want to do, and we're going to document it. So yeah. We're not doing a McFuck face or anything.
No.
No way, no McFuck face. But again, thank you so very much.
Thank you very much.
Honor to have you on.
This is such a good time. I can't wait to do it again.
Yeah, you
sure.
You could find us on YouTube, Instagram, follow us on like us on Facebook, and stay clouded, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys. Later.